The mural that is behind me here, it was made by just over 123 people, and we've done 156 heads of different women who we are calling catalysts for change. And the catalyst for change idea is that they made a difference in the arts, in sciences, and in social evolution. History is by and large written by the male gender, and somehow or other we've skipped over the female contributions. So people like Rosalind Franklin did not get the Nobel Prize. Crick and Watson got it, although it was her photograph that was key to their understanding of DNA. Well, that's a huge gap in our narrative. Further, the mural that is behind me here is all about women, and it's about women in many different fields and about the contributions that they made. I think we want them to leave with questions as much as answers, and seeking answers. It's lights, camera, action, turning the light on to a certain area of thinking. Camera is, you've got the whole digital world at your disposal. You can do something with that. And action is to take it on and do something about it.
I'm currently enrolled in AP World History. East High School was selected to come to the Leonardo for this amazing exhibit and learn a little bit more about equality and feminism. This exhibit not only shows me that women still need more equality, but it shows me how lots of women have overcome such inequality and they've had such trials. Ellen! I just think overall that it's really educational for everybody, especially students in high school. I think we all need to learn a little bit more about equality and about our government. And we also got the opportunity to hear a speech by our mayor, and I had the opportunity to sit at the table with her during lunch, which was pretty extraordinary.
Well, good afternoon. I am so grateful to be a part of your day today. You are some of the first people to have the opportunity to see the Leonardo's Women exhibit, and it's for good reason. As young students, you have the opportunity to not only reflect on what you have learned today, but to take action in a way that can help us shape your entire generation. I was asked to share my experience as a female leader with you. And for many who are in this room, you may not know, but I am only the second female leader in Salt Lake City, and we have been an incorporated community for over 140 years. I am the first female gay mayor, and I certainly was the first openly gay elected official back in the 90s, a time when many of you may not have even been born. I found my journey because of some students at East High School. There were a group of students back in 1995, 94, who wanted a little club. And that little club was the first Gay-Straight Alliance that they were trying to create to find a place for them to feel like they fit in, that they could be accepted, that they could support one another. They were uncomfortable in their own schools. I was out, I had a job, I had a wife back then, and I had security. And I was on my couch, sitting there comfortably at home, watching TV, usually Seinfeld. There on my screen comes a news clip about a group of students at East High School who were fighting for their right to have their club at a school that was just up the street from me. And suddenly, I was very uncomfortable. Of course, these students were being met with great resistance, hostility, and even some life-threatening incidences, all because they wanted to make life easier for each other. I wondered why I was sitting on my couch, why I had not done anything to help secure a better, safer environment for them to learn in. What was I waiting for? Was the life I had created really good enough for me? Watching those students in 1994-95 stand up in front of TV cameras, their parents, their peers, people around the world watching them stand up and say, we deserve to have our club. Well, I got off my couch and I never went back. I don't even have TV today. I tell this story because you all have great potential. And it is up to you to decide what your life will be filled with. Putting myself out there, really out there, in 1997, when I first ran for office, was not easy. But I followed the lead of those children, and I stood up for myself. And I ran for the Salt Lake City Council, and I lost. But that did not defeat me. In the end, I ran in 1998 for the Utah legislature, and I won. And I served for 13 years on Capitol Hill. It was hard, to say the least. I had colleagues who wouldn't even look me in the eye or shake my hand. I had people yelling at me this close to my face. I could feel their spit. It's horrible. It was horrible. But you stand up and you take it, because in the end, it will matter, and it does matter. It was important that not only was I uncomfortable, but so were they, and trust me, they were. That uncomfortableness continues to be what drives me as I look around this room and I watch what's happening in the world we live in. I have two sons, one who is African American and one who is from Guatemala. He is Mayan. And what I know is that Utah does not treat my children equally, just as they do not treat my wife and I equally. So what is it that I should be doing? I should be creating a foundation in this city that desegregates our city, that brings us together, that helps us understand one another, that helps us understand that we are one. We are all part of the human family, all of us. And we all have the ability to reach out, to be courageous, to go sit at a different table during the lunch hour and get to know one another. It's hard. High school was very hard. I was popular, and I struggled, very much so. I could not accept who I was. So, you never know what's going on in anyone's given day. Nobody has it easy. In fact, most people in high school are not comfortable with who they are. And you may think that the kid who has all the money and the cool car and whatever has it made. They don't. There's a lot of pressure. I will tell you that whether you are there doing the work that I am talking about, or you are just trying to get through the day, that it is important that you reach out. You will be met with support. Those that will lift you up, and that you will see also those who want to tear you down. There will be a lot of people who want to grab you and hold you back. But there will also be people who will get their hands dirty and put them like this for you to step on. There will always be those who want to tear you down, but you must be courageous, and you must do something with the skills and the gifts and the abilities you have been given. You must cultivate them. I will tell you that when you have courage and becoming the first of something, you won't be alone for long. I'm not the only person who was ever elected to the Capitol Hill who was openly gay. And I certainly won't be the last. And I better not be the last mayor who was openly gay. Nearly 25 years ago, those students were very uncomfortable. They shared their stories, they lived their truth. And they changed my life. I bet they changed a lot of lives. And you can do it too. Get uncomfortable. Thank you.